In December of 2010, Courtney Dasher adopted her dog Tuna. He was abandoned by the side of the road at only 4 months old, crawling on his belly out of fear. His owners abandoned him because they thought he was too ugly and not worthy of life. In the past 6 years, Tuna has lived an extravagant life full of friends, vacations, costumes, and lots of yummy treats. However, not all dogs are as fortunate as Tuna, and not all dogs have the luxury of being adopted. Millions of dogs across the nation are facing the hardships that shelters endure. In kill shelters, hundreds of thousands of dogs are being slaughtered every year simply because there isn't enough room. And these dogs are acquiring psychological damage because of neglect done in these shelters. But you can be the end of this malicious system that these animals call life, and you can be the source of the dog's happiness. Adopting a dog from an animal shelter can better their life as well as your own. Many dogs stay in animal shelters for their entire lives and until their last breath. Unfortunately, this last breath isn't always a natural occurrence. For a multitude of dogs, lives in the shelter end by euthanization. For those of you that don't know, euthanasia can be defined as putting to death painlessly or allowing to die. This is a procedure widely practiced across the United States, and almost every single state allows non-veterinarians to euthanize companion animals. According to the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, commonly more known as ASPCA, approximately 670,000 dogs are euthanized in the United States every single year. And although not every shelter in the nation practices euthanasia, dogs are still intentionally mistreated and neglected even in no-kill shelters. Animal shelters are temporary solutions for homeless pets, and they are not designed to be permanent habitats. The ASPCA estimates that approximately 3.3 million dogs enter animal shelters every year, and only 1.6 million are adopted. That's not even 50% that are finding a home. There is still 1.7 million dogs left in these shelters to be taken care of by the staff in the United States. And Adoptapet.com lists over 127,000 adoptable dogs in the central Michigan area, and this isn't even including the many small shelters and rescue organizations that we have. And it is very difficult to care and give the proper affection and upkeep to living areas for this many animals. These dogs are often left in their cages for 20 plus hours a day, and the cages are often made of cold cement or plastic and bunked with other cages. Sometimes even 3 to 5 dogs are placed in one cage together. And not all the dogs in these cage rooms get along, and animals who live in conditions similar to these are often very lonely and tend to shy away from humans as well as other animals when they would otherwise be very friendly creatures. Dogs can acquire psychological damage, and they can be mentally and emotionally broken from these shelters, and the pain can haunt them for the rest of their lives. However, if you adopt a dog, that can mean that you are that dog's hero. You can be the source of their happiness and the reason they wag their tail. Numerous adoption success stories, just like Tuna's, can prove us otherwise. These dogs were broken during their stay during the shelters, and they were both found quivering in the corners of their cages with various levels of damage. But you can see that their lives did a complete 180 after they were adopted by loving and caring families. Whimsy had a respiratory infection, but after a small treatment and some tender loving care, she now lives a happy life with a family that loves her unconditionally. And Bravo had lost all hope with several infections and broken teeth and was only hours away from euthanization. Luckily, this couple gave him a second chance, and now he lives an easy life with a place to call home and a family who loves him. Adopting a rescue dog can change or even save a life. Euthanasia is still widely practiced across the United States due to a lack of funding and due to a lack of room. Dogs who spend their lives in these shelters can be mentally and emotionally broken because of mistreatment and neglect, whether that be intentional or unintentional. An adoption is the easiest and most effective way to end these animals' sufferings, and a stable home with a loving family can end the dog's pain, and be the source of their happiness. Just like Courtney and Tuna, adopting a dog could create a forever friendship.